26, verse 28 and verse 29.
All right. What is it?
Acts 26. Verse 28 and 29. Once you found the text, say amen.
Amen.
And it reads, it says, Then Agrippa said to Paul, You almost persuade me to become a Christian. Paul said, Agrippa, I would to God, I pray to God, that not only you, but all who hear me will become almost and altogether such as I am, except these chains. Except these chains. I want to preach about the challenge of the chains.
All right.
Be yourself, pal. Bring it like you bring it.
Preachers have high privileges. We enjoy our ability to cut the line at the fellowship meal. We enjoy being able to even line up first in front of the family at prominent preachers' funerals. We enjoy having our names on our parking spots. We enjoy having a pastor's study with all of the trimmings and all of the accoutrements. We enjoy the entitlement to obituaries while others will have Baptist fit to get one. We enjoy the discounts at our local factory store that produce our clothes. We enjoy all of the regality, pastor's appreciation, but all of these privileges come with a high cost. High cost of being known but not knowing yourself. The high cost of being visible at your church, sometimes invisible in your community. The high cost of shouting in public but crying in private. The high cost of having nice things when the church wants you to have nothing. The high cost of having an anointing but also feeling disappointed. It was late Dr. Gardner Taylor who stated that the preaching that gets closest to the throbbing heart of God is preaching that rises out of circumstances that have been touched and tinged with heartbreak that sees and senses and says something of the heartbreak of God, which is undaunted by resistance and opposition, and which marches resolutely by way of a cross on a hill to shout in the cemetery. It was Dietrich Bonhoeffer, that German theologian, who once said that when Christ calls a man, he bids him come and die. You can have titles and still suffer persecution. You can be able to personify the message, but you still may have to pacify some members. You may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil like none other, but still have to deal with some come and die. All I'm trying to say here, that it comes with some change. It comes with difficulty. It comes with calamity. It comes with wrestling. It comes with rocking and reeling in the midnight hour. It comes with sometimes having your best members to lay down and die. It comes with having to deal with the peril that there's some folk they'll talk about you during your sermon, then they'll talk about you at supper. I want every preacher, every pastor in this house to know that you don't give up now, but do know there is some change in ministry. For Christ, I proclaim the glad story. If I seek for his sheep gone astray, I'm sure he will show me his glory when I've gone the last mile of the way. When I've gone the last mile of the way, I will rest at the close of the day. And I know there are joys that await me when I've gone the last mile of the way. It is this high calling and high understanding in which Paul was destined to express to everybody he came in contact with. As he expressed his storied past, he tells in Acts chapter 22, verse 15, how a man by the name of Ananias told him that you will be his witness to all men of what you have seen and what you have heard.
All right.
This word witness is akin to the word martyr. It signifies one who will die because of this witness. And Paul, as one who held dual citizenship as a Roman and a Jew, found himself in the thicket of some change. Son of a Pharisee and also a freeborn Roman citizen, but also so educated enough to discuss the paradigms of Homer, Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates. And as they argued about present and everyday reality, Paul wanted to display another belief that the Christ would suffer, that he would be the first to rise from the dead and would claim light to the Jewish people and to the Gentiles. He believed that in which he preached because his experience with Christ in his past had shown up in his present. And you know that Christ has a way of doing something spectacular in your past that will demonstrate his power in your present. He woke you up this morning. That was a demonstration of your present. He put clothes on your back. That was a demonstration of your present. And I don't know what I'm talking about in here, but I know God will somehow take your past and bring you in the present. As he travels throughout the Greco and Roman world, sharing the gospel to the Jews and the Gentiles, they want to talk about philosophy, while Paul wants to talk about Christology.
Yes, sir.
They want to talk about philosophy, while Paul wants to talk about soteriology. They want to talk about philosophy, while Paul wants to talk about eschatology. I want to let you know that when God gives you a call, and he'll sometimes put you in the face of some prominent people, and all you can do is tell them about how the Savior saved your life. And I thank God, and I don't care whoever I'm in front of, I'll tell them that Jesus Christ died one Friday. And the Bible said he got up out of the grave with all power in his hand.
Come on.
Everywhere he steps, Paul is met with some extreme obstacles that make his calling a challenge. Arrested in the temples, adjudicated his Pharisee status, sent to a man by the name of Felix, accused of sedition, but despite being in prison for 2 years, they left Paul bound.
Right.
He appeals to Caesar, but has to go through Festus, Bernice, and a man by the name of King Agrippa II. While he is still going, he's still in chains. He is still saying something worth listening to, because some people are free and have nothing worth saying. But somehow Paul taps into the idea that no matter how I feel, I still got to share this gospel story. No matter what I've lost in my past, I still got to tell them about the Savior. No matter how I'm feeling right now, I still got to tell them about that Savior that came down through Mary, had a stepdaddy by the name of Joseph. And even in Mark chapter 2, he tells a man, thy sins be forgiven thee. Do you know that man? Have you tried him? Have you called him? And every single time, he came to your rescue. Challenge number 1 is having a positive disposition despite constant opposition. Acts 24 verse 10 tells us that Paul states that I more cheerfully answer for myself. In Acts chapter 26 verse number 2, he says, I think myself happy.
Yes.
I love that word happy. It's the Greek word makarios. It is found 50 times in the New Testament. It simply means to be supremely blessed.
All right.
It's a mindset to succeed with sunny salutations. It simply means to retain your joy. They wonder how you do it. It's because you know where your help comes from. Our help comes from the Lord. Paul understands that anytime I can share my convictions of Calvary, I am expressing a higher loyalty to a higher deal. But every time you lift up Christ or lift up the name of the Lord, there will always be opposition.
Yes, sir.
And the fact of the matter is, sometimes opposition does not come from those on the outside, but it comes from those on the inside. At the conclusion of 2 Samuel 6, the story is told about how Obed-Edom was a blessed family. Talks about how David wanted to make sure that the ark of God get back to Jerusalem, but there was a man by the name of Uzzah who touched this ark, and when he touched the ark fell, and he dropped dead. But he brought the ark to a man by the name of Obed-Edom. And when he realized that Obed-Edom's house was blessed, the Bible says that he danced in his linen ephod, and he began to dance, but he had a wife. His wife came to him and said, "Now why are you dancing in front of the maid service?" He said, "It's because your daddy did not anoint me. Your daddy didn't give me my anointing, but the God I serve gave it to me. And you better be careful, because the next worship I got is going to be more undignified than this one." And I want you to know I can shout undignified because I know who the one who anointed me. I know who appointed me. Oh, they may have voted me in, but Jesus Christ gave me my anointing. And I have one witness. I'll make two, that no matter what you're going through, you need to know who anointed you. David is shouting from memory, not shouting from misery. And pure ministry is learning how to have a memory shout. Ministry is when you learn how to have a memory shout. When you just think back to when you was installed, and when they came and they brought you in and you sat down in the seat and they gave you the keys to the church. That's a memory shout. Because when you get to year number 2, you begin to forget all of that, because all it is hell and high water. You gotta have a memory shout. Paul is before a man by the name of King Agrippa. King Agrippa's name simply means to be a wild horse tamer. King Agrippa II is if I'm not mistaken, he is the nephew of a man by the name of Herod Antipas. He is the ruler of northern and eastern Palestine. But when we get to verse 27 of Acts 26, I love it, because Paul looks at King Agrippa and asks him, "Do you believe in the prophets?" Because if you believe in the prophets, you'll understand that this Jesus Christ I'm talking about didn't show up in Matthew chapter 1. Because Isaiah will tell you he's a root out of dry ground. Zechariah says he's just and having salvation riding on a donkey. Michael says he's like a refiner's fire, like launderer's soap. Sometimes I can't come up with nothing to say. I just call him Jesus. I know that name got all power in the hem of his garment. I just call him Jesus. Challenge number 2 is having persuasion despite derision.
All right.
Come on, pal.
Verse 28 says, you almost persuade me to become a Christian.
Watch out.
In essence, he says, are you trying to persuade me to become a Christian in such a short time? He employs a satirical epithet to make a wider point. He's mocking Paul's attempts for the phrase Christian was seen as a laughable enigma. Don't you know that we're still being mocked today?
Amen.
If Pastor Christopher Cavanis of Macon, Georgia wants to preach about Bird Box and it spreads the gospel, then let him be. If Pastor Bartholomew Orr wants to zip line through his church and share the eschatological hope of Christ's return, let him be. And I've learned that everybody that got a problem with somebody are the ones that ain't got nobody in their church. And you got to learn how to stop picking on every other preacher and focus on your own church.
Amen. 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 Preach the word, pal.
Because we often see the efforts of the preacher's persuasion through a dim prism. No one talks about the 200 people who gave their life to Christ at Brown Missionary Baptist Church. But they want to talk about how he zip-lined through the church. They don't want to talk about the 100 people in 2018 who were baptized in that church. You got to be careful how you look at another man's vineyard when you don't know his struggle.
All right.
You don't know how he got there. If you see a frog on top of a pole, it had to have some help to get there.
Fix it up, pal. Fix it
This
up.
phrase, persuade, is the word pytho in Greek. It simply means to try to seduce me. This same Paul in derision is not too far away from Jeremiah. In Jeremiah chapter 20, verse number 7, he says, oh Lord, you induced me and I was persuaded. You are stronger than I and have prevailed. I am in derision daily. Everyone mocks me. But verse 9, he says, then I said I wouldn't make mention of him anymore, nor speak anymore in his name, but his word was in my heart like a burning fire, shut up in my bones. And while Agrippa and the rest possess a hardened heart, Paul possesses a helpful hint. Last challenge. Text says, verse 29, he says, Paul said, I would to God that not only you, but also all who hear me today might become both almost and altogether as I am, except for these chains. That phrase there, I pray to God, I would to God, is in the octative mood in the Greek. It simply means to be in the mood of possibility. It's the mood of possibility. Agrippa and this company, I don't want you just to see where I am, but I want you to be where I am. Except for these chains. This phrase at the conclusion of the text, it says, such as I am. That phrase there, I am, is the phrase ego eimi. It is essentially is connected to Exodus chapter 3, verse number 14. When Moses goes unto the people, he asks God a question. He said unto God, God, whom should I tell have sent me? Bible says that he says to him, tell them I am who I am. That text, when you say such as I am, it demonstrates a confidence of yourself and a caring for others. Real ministry is when you can see the possibilities and promise in your own enemies. Ministry is a mutual setting, desiring to see others succeed in their freedom while you don't have yours. You see their future while experiencing your own feebleness. Sharing Christ with those who are in worse chains than you is a bad situation. But the key is You have your chains and you are saved, but they have the chains of unbelief.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Because the main piece is that at the end of the day,
All right.
we want them to see Jesus.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to see us, but we want them to see our Christ.
Yeah.
And we want them to see Jesus high and lifted up. And we don't want them to see Copeland, Lord, but we want them to see Christ. Lord, when I examine this text, Lord, the word change is not the same Greek word in Acts chapter 12, verse number 7. Lord, the Bible says that Peter's chains fell off. Lord, but it is the same word found in Acts 16, verse number 26, that when there was a sudden earthquake, Lord, all of the foundations were shaken and everyone's chains were loose. Which tells me that there's still possibilities, Lord, in having your change. When you open your mouth, you give God the glory, your chains will come off. Lord, you know that you can shout one time and the chains will come off. And sometime later, the chains may show up again. But the good news is if you learn how to praise God with your chains, Lord, then the challenge is already won. Yeah, these chains are nothing but honorable hiccups. Lord, tell your neighbor that your chains are nothing but honorable hiccups. Because my chains, they grew me. My chains, they hurt me. And I thank God for my chains. Can I have a witness here? Romans 4, verse 25 says, He was delivered up for our offenses, raised for our justification. And because of Calvary, we have been set free. Because of His resurrection, we can shout in glory. We can thank God for our chains. Because we share in His sufferings, we may also be glorified together. Can I have a witness here? So don't throw in the towel, because Lord, His glory is fixing your chain. Can I have a witness here? His glory is fixing your wounds right now. Because He was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon Him. And by His stripes we are healed. You got scars, but healing is on the way. A few years ago, on an Easter Sunday, I got a bad call that my daddy was having a mental breakdown. I showed up to the house. My mother and my sister were sitting in the living room, but my dad was sitting in the kitchen. And I asked Mama, I said, Mother, have you seen Daddy? She said, yeah, he all right. I said, have you talked to Daddy? She said, yeah, he's all right. I went in the kitchen. I looked at Daddy. He had a smile on his face, but he had blood on his wrist. And I thought to myself, he had a happy face, but he had blood on his wrist. He said, I'll just slip it over. I'll just sleep the night away. I said, no, because what you got on your wrist, you can't just sleep it away. somebody about it. And I thank God because too many preachers, you got happy faces, but you got bloody wrists, you got residue on your wrist, you got pain on your wrist. But the good news is, if you got something on your wrist, you are in the suffering of our Savior. Because one Friday, they put nails in his hands, they put nails in his feet, and I thank God I can endure my change. Won't you find one neighbor and say, neighbor, you can make it, you can take it. All you gotta do is keep your hand, give the master hand. Gonna have a witness here. And I thank God because no matter how tough it gets, I've learned how to turn it over to Jesus. Every time I turn it around, He turned it into a blessing. Gonna have a witness here. Is there anybody here know God can turn your chains around? Don't you know He'll turn your chains around? If it's all right with you, find one neighbor and say, neighbor, don't allow your chains to destroy your ministry. Whatever you do, keep telling the story. Whatever you do, keep preaching this gospel. Whatever you do, keep holding on. Because sooner or later, the Lord's going to come to your rescue. Can I have a witness here? If you thank God, and tell God thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. If it's all